Hey, what's up, VC? It's Tone, and I'm coming back to start a new series called Record Store Spotlight. I talked about it before. I've talked about quite a few different Spotlight videos. I actually started last year doing my record label Spotlight videos. I've only done one. I plan to do a lot more. The one I did last year, and you can find it, in my video catalog, was on Resonance Records. But I hadn't started my Record Store Spotlight series yet. And what spurred me on to do that was not too long ago, I was watching a video by Tom over at High Rant District, and it's called Do Record Stores Really Matter? I will leave a link to that particular video so you can watch that. And if you're not subscribed to High Rant District, Tom, I would suggest doing that. It's got a fantastic channel. He was making a video questioning, do record stores matter, for himself as a record collector and a record buyer, a music buyer. He gave valid points for himself as to why he feels, he would be satisfied shopping online. He also gave a recent experience that his wife or girlfriend experienced overseas that made him think again or second guess his feeling about, record stores really don't matter to me, and realized that they really do matter. And that is what spurred me to want to start the Record Store Spotlight, because I think that record stores and record store culture, as a music fan and as a music collector, whatever format you collect, I think it's extremely important. I live in the North LA area and in the greater Los Angeles area. This is considered the record store mecca of the world. We have more record stores in one geographic region than anywhere else on the face of the planet. And sometimes we take that for granted, like they're just going to be here. But if we continue to have the mentality that they really don't matter, I think we'll wake up one day realizing that our favorite record store is gone because we just didn't support it the way it needed to be supported. I get it. Sometimes you go into the store and you can't find what you need, and there's so many valid reasons to shop online. You can access the world online and you can find almost anything you're looking for. But I think your first point of reference needs to be your record store. And even if you're finding that you might have to pay $1 or $2 or $3 or $4 more. I mean, if you're going to your record store and they're charging $10 more for something that you can get online, I get it. But then sometimes you might be able to negotiate a price down, depending on how often you shop there. You might have a relationship with your store and they may be willing to work with you on price. And if I have to pay $1 or $2 or $3 more, or maybe even $4 more to make sure I'm supporting my store, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm speaking as somebody who owns an online record store. I own an online, fully functioning, operational online record store with a logo and a DBA. And so I'm speaking against, or not against, but I'm speaking in favor of something opposite of what I do. There's a time and place for everything. Record stores, digital stores, online. However, record store culture will only survive and flourish if we, the collectors and the music fans, continue to support it. So, without any further ado, we're going to launch this video. This is number 1 in the series, Record Store Spotlight. And I hope you enjoy. It's Record Outlet Used here in the North LA area, Thousand Oaks, California. It's not a big store, but it's this really comfortable. I mean, everything about this store is so comfortable. It's so incredible. It's just someplace you just want to hang out and talk and go through records and talk shop And not only is the pricing extremely fair, but it's a very well curated shop. So enjoy the video. I'll be back to show you the few records I picked up. And welcome to the new series, Record Store Spotlight, #1 record outlet used, Thousand Oaks, California. Hey, what's up, vinyl community? It's Tone, and I'm going to give you a walkthrough record outlet used. And this is the third incarnation of the record outlet here in North Los Angeles, Thousand Oaks, California. Let's take a look inside. This is the rock section. Here's the lovely Emma. Say hi, Emma.
Hi.
Say hi, vinyl community.
Hi, vinyl community. How's it going?
She's one of the 3 employees at the record outlet. It's kind of a small shop, but it is very well respected.
Okay, thank you much. Have a good day.
The other side of rock. And a lot of new pressing, new releases here. Urban, R&B, soul, rap.
And look at that. There's an RL.
Look at, here is an RL, very early L2. Look at that, LZ2. Yep. That's Casey, the owner. This is my jazz wall. I shouldn't have even put this in here because I find some gems in here and I don't want other people coming. But that's my jazz wall right there. More jazz. Compact disc section. And there's not a lot of collectibles, but he does get collectibles in, and when he gets collectibles in, they're normally pretty cool. Some pretty cool things he gets in. A lot of overstock, which is, I love that about stores. There's a shit ton of overstock out on the floor, not in the back. So if it's not in the bin, sometimes you can look in the overstock and you might just find it. And I kind of waited to film. There was a rush. There was a lot of people in here before, so I waited a bit to film. Nice cassette wall. You know how I feel about cassettes. I love them. And I'm trying to push cassette fidelity as much as possible. Listening station. Eight tracks if you're an 8-track fan, which Casey is. Casey, how long has this location been here?
Since June 19th, 1996.
June 1996, and the first one down the street and across the street was
Well,
when?
originally 1984 is when he started.
Right.
And I started there in December of 86, helping move from one location to the next.
Right.
Which helped introduce me into the store because I kept trying to get a job and he wouldn't hire me.
Right.
I did some scary things to him that freaked him out a few times. Like
And
I snuck behind the counter and I started repricing things at crazy high prices when he wasn't there. And then another time when he wouldn't buy a record I was trying to sell him, I said, well, I guess I should just break this fucking record. And I broke it and snapped it and shattered and all the pieces went everywhere. And he was like, oh, whoa, there's something wrong with that.
And then you doubled up and you opened the store in Ventura on Johnson.
He opened his store in Johnson. He
Oh,
had
that's
one in
right.
Camarillo that I used to manage that store too.
That's right.
And he had one up in Santa Maria also. And so I moved here instead
Right.
of following him to Moore Park. And 6 months later, he went under, and I'm still here somehow.
And then you opened the Main Street location.
Then I opened mine, yes, in 99, I think it was that I opened that store.
Right. And then you sold it to Grady.
I sold it to Grady in 2003, about a week before I got married for the second time. Just the light and my load, too much running two stores. And I
Right,
couldn't
right.
put enough attention into both, and they were both suffering because of it.
Well, this place has been going a long time, and it's very well respected. And we'll be doing a record store spotlight on Grady's at a later time too. That's a great, very similar store, a little bit longer than this one, but in terms of the fairness and pricing and some of the stuff that, I mean, I found so many hidden gems. Like I'll be showing you guys what I picked up today. Something I'd been looking for a while and I couldn't believe I found it, but I did. And so yeah, this is the record outlet used here in North LA, Thousand Oaks, California, and this place ain't going nowhere. So Vinyl Community, I will be showing you more stores later on. Thanks for watching. So I picked up 3 records. One of them, I won't call it a grail in a sense that it's a super expensive record, but it is a record that I have been seeking to find in the wild in an original pressing. I do have a reissue of it. It's a fantastic album. It's an iconic album for this particular style of music, and it has eluded me for years to being able to find a first pressing of this record. I found that, but let's start with the first one. I didn't have this record either. I've had the 45, the 7-inch 45 RPM single of the record that is on this LP, and the LP is the self-titled Skylark. 1972, Skylark was an early 70s soul ensemble. I think they may have even been from the UK. I'm not sure. But I know that this is one of the first things that David Foster got his hands on. And he did a fantastic job on this record. You know, the single is called Wildflower. And I'll leave a link to the single down below so that you know what's on this record. But I've never seen a copy in this good of condition. I mean, this thing is immaculate. It's a textured cover, very textured actually, and it is virtually flawless. I checked the dead wax. It's a first pressing, and I couldn't believe the condition of this record, so I didn't have it, and I've been looking for it, and I was able to pick up Skylark, self-titled, on Capitol, Bullseye label. Second one is a 1967 release on Verve, and it is Juicy, Willie Bobo. This is an album by him that it's probably one of my least favorite Willie Bobo records. It's a good record, but I am a completist when it comes to Willie Bobo. And so I was able to find this in absolutely fantastic condition. The cover's in, at least VG Plus, at least. And the vinyl's between EX and near mint. So it really is a good record. It's kind of that mid-late 70s pop instrumental jazz. I mean, there are a few vocal tracks on here. I don't want to quite reference Herb Alpert, because I think Herb Alpert was just a little too bubblegummy. Although, listen, I'm a Herb Alpert fan. I don't care what anybody says. I really enjoy Herb Alpert records. And there's a time and place for that kind of stuff. When you're just hanging out, you just want to hear something fun, I'll put on a Herb Alpert record. And there's actually some great music that he did. Not all of it is bubblegummy and AM radio-ish. However, this particular record reminded me of probably a really good Herb Alpert record, but with not a pop Latin feel, but a genuine Latin feel. Willie Bobo was signed to Verve in his early career. In the 70s, he went on to be signed with Columbia. But he was signed to Verve, and Verve being a jazz label for the most part, he definitely was the epitome of early boogaloo. And early boogaloo didn't have a lot of vocal, but it is distinguished by the type of repetitive hooky vocal that it had, sometimes in Spanish, sometimes in English. I picked it up because, again, I'm a completist when it comes to Willie Bobo. Will I listen to this record a lot? Probably not nearly as much as the other records that I have by him. And again, he's more jazz-based. I think that boogaloo is heavier saturated with a soul tinge, a Latin soul tinge, than pop jazz from the 60s. However, it's still a good record, and I'm glad to have this record. The last record I picked up was, I'll call it a grail, even though, again, it's not a super expensive record. If you find it in near mint condition all the way around, and it's a first pressing, you could pay up to $60 for the record. I got a really good deal on this record. It's VG Plus on the cover, definitely. And the vinyl is between EX, it's probably EX Plus, between that and near mint. Leaning more to EX. But the album is Spanish Grease, Willie Bobo. And I do have a reissue of this. Been looking for an original issue first pressing, and that's what this is. Cover's in fantastic shape. And the vinyl, again, it's on the Black Verve label, nothing super special. But the vinyl is just fantastic. It also has the original Verve inner sleeve, which was a bonus. Again, I haven't re-sleeved these things yet, and I was very happy to find this. You've heard the song Spanish Grease, which is the big song, and it also does a fantastic, probably the most notable instrumental version of Hurt So Bad. Came off of this record. But Spanish Grease, the title track, is the single. You've heard the song. I mean, it's an iconic iconic boogaloo song, Latin soul song. And I'll leave a link for that as well down below so that you can be reminded. And more than likely, you'll recognize it. And those are the 3 records that I picked up. I was very happy. Had a great time hanging out with Casey. Hadn't been to the shop in quite a few months. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, the normal record store spotlights won't be this long. It's just because I had to do the intro and explain why I was kicking off this series. But now that I've done that, it'll be a lot shorter. I'll do a quick 60-second intro, introducing the store, show the video, show the records I purchased, and that'll be how the format's going to be from this point on. So thanks for hanging out for as long as you did. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to doing the next one. Talk to you guys soon. Peace. God bless.